everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity 2. Here in the luminous Adra bathhouse. Oh yes, it's been a rather delightful experience for the party, particularly for Doran, who's much more accustomed to life's finer things. He's been basking, relaxing in the pool, feeling the tensions from his muscles just drift and melt away. The warm, bubbling water providing a rather satisfying massage. And now he's about to talk to Udine. Remgren has been meditating. Quiet contemplation next to the serene aquarium. It's more his cup of tea than being amongst the hustle and bustle of the bath itself. Over this side we have Adair and Nadog trading battle stories, whilst Jyoti talking to this patron here as a kind of distraction as she glances sideways numerous times at Adair. But all in all, they've had a rather spiffingly wonderful time. Tea and sandwiches on the veranda? Done. Head massage for Vodoran? Also done. Quick conversation, and then it'll be time to gather the troops and head outside to get back to business, because one can't lounge around all night, you know. There's a dark alley to approach. So we do have a buff, the Adratic Glow, giving +1 to maximum power points and +1 casts with level 1 druid spells. Wizard spells for Doran, priest spells for Jyoti, discipline and rage for Nadog, and discipline for Adair. All in all, not a bad little buff. And yes, it has cost us 1,000 of our hard-earned coins, but well, money well spent, for Doran thinks. Money well spent.
Unless there's anything you need, please, let me to mine water.
Just asking her while she's here.
It eases my pain. More than that is an awful long yarn, and then Tadlichly.
Ah, yes, I remember. Right, now I have time, and I'm much more relaxed. How about you tell me this little tale of yours?
I fecht in the broken stone war some 2 centuries gone by now.
Oh, wow.
I left the woods of a deer for the Eastern Reach. I claimed to seek to protect our colonists, but in truth, I sought the glory of battle. Glory were nae to be had. Truth be telt, I hold luckier than most. The Orlans o' Ayr Glanfath wielded blades that sheathed spirit as easily as flesh. Some of mine fellas were slaughtered body and soul.
Come again? I don't quite follow your meaning.
Oh, Jyoti's overhearing things, as she likes to do. Overhearing conversations, catching sideways glances. Very alert she is. So, what happened? In fact, Fedoran wanting to, show off his knowledge, perhaps. It sounds to me you're speaking of the Mind Hunters, the Glanfathan warrior ciphers.
Aye, that I do. And a downright vicious bunch they are.
Oh, indeed. And what happened?
One weird o' the will of the gods one. A farmer near a Boots log home invited the soldiers for dinner. 'Twas hairst, and the crop was rowdy.
Fedoran having a bit of a difficult time following exactly what she's saying.
she and her man devised us a braw and gusty feast. Deer pie and salmon, a stew of cabbage, carrots, and potatoes, squash roasted with pine nuts, and the sweetest honey bread I ever tasted.
Oh, honey bread. Fedoran's mouth almost watering. Honey bread.
The Glan Fathens riled the animals. By then we caught the trick, so the captain bade the farmer's family stay within. We skipped into the necht, approached the thick swine, and the arrows began to fall.
Oh, please go on. She exhales a long, thin sigh.
The shelter folk, hunters and kempers bred, aimed their arrows true, and 2 of us fell immediately. The Orlans rashed us down, small and shady, visible only by the violet flames that lit their blades. We drank it that firm in blood, both sides. In the end, only I remained, standing in the farmhouse door, holding mine innards in, waiting for another cocksfeather to come and finish the work. I only lived because of that farmer. She sewed me up, fed me till I had health enough to stand. She said she owned me, but I think we both conned that we brought the trouble upon them with our presence. The raiders had been too many a slecht at simple farmhouse.
And I'm assuming your wounds trouble you still, hence why you seek these healing waters?
The pine bothered me little in mine youth. I fought ye. I set flames to black trees. I took arms again, the uprising at New Dunreed. After that, little welcome remained me in the new Duke's Kintra, and I travelled northward. Yet with age, the old wounds show new depth. By my count, I've suffered 18 arrows and half again as many stabbings. That I yet live testifies to either my stubbornness or that of the gods. I ranged for years seeking a balm for the growing pine. Drink helped for a time, svev for another. Now, only these baths, infused with adra, dull the agony.
I see, I see. Well, perhaps we will, well, not perhaps, we will be back soaking in these adra baths in the future. And we will continue to get more information from this lady when we return. But for now, we shall bid her good day. It's been a pleasure getting to know her, and we shall certainly see you again.
Unless there's anything you need, please, let me to mine water.
An interesting woman. Right, so Fedoran sort of giving a hand gesture and catching the eye of his party. It's time for us to gather up, get changed, and head back out into the big wide world. Our luxury is over for now, so we're going to put our clothes back on and see you on the outside. Okay, so we're back outside the luminous bathhouse.
Don't worry. The vision's past.
And the first thing that Fedoran is going to do before we even head anywhere is he's going to dip into his bags and pull out another bag, a backpack to be more precise. Degnos's satchel. Now, we did kind of semi-promise that we weren't going to open this. He did have his fingers crossed behind his back. But there was a bit of a development, and we heard from the patron of the Adra bathhouse that he turfed him out because he saw him, I think, rifling through somebody's belongings or something like that. And so there's a bit of an inkling that this might not actually be a satchel that belongs to either Degnos or his captain. So we need to make sure that we are not giving back to Degnos stolen goods. And so we're going to have a look inside. So I opened the satchel and found an intricately carved seal, a worn letter, and a handful of other strange items. Now, did they pop into our... Yes, they did. A Vetter's seal. A waxed sealed letter and a suspicion. Degnos, it's all arranged. So long as your captain sticks to her route, our ship will meet yours at sea 3 days hence. Don't forget to dump your powder before we arrive. Every cannonball that strikes our hull will be one less limb we leave you with, understand? And be sure to wear a red bandana so we don't kill you by accident. If all goes as planned, a spot on our ship and a fair share of the plunder will be yours as promised. He's leading his current captain into an ambush, it sounds like here. Okay, so it's just these two. Well, bloody hell, fire. Sabotage a Vetter's ship, so Degnos can join the crew of a Principe Captain Talfa. Okay, so we have gathered some information that might prove to be beneficial to a certain captain who may reward us for saving her from being lured into an ambush, perhaps. Interesting. Well, we'll get to that in a second. The first thing we're going to do is, when we get back to Queen's Berth, is actually to deal with these cut purses in the northern alleys, because that might yield us a nice discount with the shipwright. So,
got it.
That's our first plan of attack for today's session. Just en route to the Queen's Berth, a group of Principe sailors approach you in the streets. Is this like a random battle? Or a scripted encounter as part of a quest or something?
Ventre, a moment.
Oh. We appear to be surrounded. A tall, wiry man blocks your path. He wears a sly smile, as one might wear their most comfortable trousers.
I saw you speak to my dear amico Degnos, so I thought to myself, why, Talfor, you must meet him too.
Ah, should have recognised the name. I've just read the bloody letter. It's the captain who was going to be doing the ambushing. Right, okay. Punch him. No words. Boomf. I've read your letter. Your penmanship is terrible. How do we play this? Do we play this dumb? I think Fedoran is going to play this dumb. Oh yes. I'm just returning his satchel to him.
That is good to hear. So rare it is that I am glad of a stranger's interference.
Talfa renders you a slight bow and a crooked, almost jesting smile.
Would you like an escort to Queensbereth, Ventre? You never know what rough types may be about, and I would hate to see you waylaid.
Oh, well, I'm sure you can quite clearly see here I have my own capable escorts, and I am Lord Fedoran of Fedoran's Keep. I'm not quite so sure if you've heard of me, but, well, let's just say I'm more than capable of looking after myself.
Ah, amico. The streets of Nekitaka, they are too dangerous to travel without an escort. I insist my associates and I see you safely to your destination.
Ah, I see.
It pains me to impose, but I must ensure Degnos has everything he needs for his next voyage.
He smiles wide, the corners of his eyes crinkling with mirth. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll allow him to follow us here. I don't know how the quest's mechanics are going to work, but the thinking on Fedoran is Queen's Berth may be busier with guards, and if these random people attack us in the streets, maybe we, they might stay their blades a bit more rather than here in a random alleyway in the middle of nowhere or random place. Second of all, we kind of want to drop Degnos in it a little bit with these guys present, you know. Big grand affair. Let them all know at the same time that we've read and we know exactly what's going on. And maybe, just maybe, even the other captain might be present near her ship. Might also want to give us a helping hand if things get a bit nasty. So we'll continue to play along for now. Yes, Fedora stating he'll be on his way then. Fine. If you wish to follow, that's your business.
A gracious offer. We accept.
Oh, God.
Perguano, let us be off.
Okay, well, this could indeed turn very sour very quickly.
When I was little, me and my brothers used to spend hours chasing each other through the Merkberry fields. Don't think a day went by I didn't have a skinned knee or a bleeding elbow.
Well, we did that sometimes. Only my brother usually had a hand in the bleeding.
He older or younger than you? Either way, I bet he's just as strapping.
Older. Was older. Then Ray and Sarah's invaded.
Oh, of course, that's... God, but I'm so sorry.
That's it, love. You put your foot in it. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I told Tarth that I wouldn't interfere with his plans. Well, no, we're not doing. We're not. Okay, this quest better go the way that I hope it goes. We're not trying to help them, or we want to spring this trap to the appropriate person. Peddler's Canal. Right, straight down. Let's do this quest now. To make sure that this goes the way we want it to go. We don't want the this rogue captain and his accomplice to get away with these schemes. Aha! Avetta! Let's see if we can speak to her first, shall we? Ah, young Degnos. Fancy seeing you here.
Where is my seal? Postinago, did you take it again?
She grabs Degnos by the arm and shakes him. He winces and ducks his head, making no move to escape her grip.
You will feel the bite of the cat's tail if you have lost it, boy.
The other way of looking at this is perhaps maybe she's a really, really bad, nasty captain and he simply is getting away from her. But then the other guy didn't seem exactly like an honourable fellow either. Yes. Have you ever known abuse to engender loyalty? Yeah, just simply clearing his throat. Excuse me?
Is this Nazenali a friend of yours, Degnos?
What should you call us? A nosy person? She glances at you briefly, then looks away with a slight roll of her eyes. She returns her attention to Degnos with her arms crossed, frowning.
An acquaintance only, Casita. From the Luminous Bathhouse.
First you waste my servant's time, and now you have the gall to waste mine as well.
Oh. The more this woman opens her mouth, the less we like of her. She stares at you hawk-eyed, down her long nose, and raises a brow, likely expecting you to quaver before her. So if we give her the seal at this point, we're basically dropping Degnos in it. We play it dumb and give Degnos his things back. Oh, kind of. It's tough. This is a tough decision. But she is a bit of a horrible person that we've gathered so far, but we kind of know the truth now. The fact that it pains us so much kind of makes me think, well, do you know what? Screw it. I can't believe this is such a decision that's taking so long. Right. Nah. It's the honourable thing to do, regardless of whether or not she's a good or bad captain. The fact of the matter is this underhanded plan. We're not going to be complicit in it. Does this belong to you? Holding this seal out to her, rather reluctantly, with a pained expression.
This is mine. From where did you get this?
She grabs the seal from your hands and looks at you guardedly.
Mind your response. If you have robbed me, I will not hesitate to alert the authorities.
Someone carelessly left it in the bathhouse. That's kind of dropping in image. We're going to be honest. I'm going to be honest here. Yes. From the satchel that Degnos had at the bathhouse. One among other several interesting items that were within there.
Tiveres? Degnos, you will explain this.
She snatches the satchel from your hands and rifles through it. Oh dear.
And what is this, eh?
She pulls a letter from the satchel with a flourish and shoves it in Degnos' face.
Que?
She opens the letter and begins to read. With a strangled cry, Degnos stumbles back and takes off running full pelt down the docks. Well, stop him!
Helia, grant me wings.
Okay. Well, at least he's free. So that's sealed fate. Yeah, we reported the betrayal. I've got a feeling this might not be the last we hear of this, you know, but for now, let's just quickly see what she has to say for herself.
It is a pity you let him escape.
Oh, I let him escape. Well, I had no intentions of striking him down, to be honest with you.
He will be found. I will make it so. I did not think he had the stones. And now I will never know the extent of his sabotage. Trade routes, partners, cargo. Anyone may know them now, Merla! But you have saved my life. Agrasima, for your trouble.
Oh. Gives us a handful of coins, 1,087 to be precise, which actually pays for our stay in the bathhouse. Not bad at all.
Your intervention has given me much work to do. Leave me to my tasks. Of course.
She shoos you away with a flapping hand. Okay, so the betrayal was reported. He is gone for now, although I've got a feeling he may be found. But you never know, he might not be. And yeah, it doesn't seem like too bad an outcome. Although I've got a sneaking suspicion we might be hearing from the other captain at some point when we travel around the city. Okay, so that's that quest sorted. Next one on the list, and we do have a level ups, which I kind of think we should do before we do the next quest, because it might help us if we get into a fight. But I don't have my my character sheets open at the moment, and it'd be a bit of a faff. So we'll chance it with the level that we are, but we will go to the northern alley. And let's see what's going on over there, shall we? Hopefully they won't give us a taxing decision. We've had to rack our brains already once today. We were supposed to be relaxed after the bloody Adra bathhouse. It was a pretty stressful situation. Okay, here we are.
So she asked him what he calls that trick, and he says the consueli.
So they've got dockside thugs that don't appear to look like they're well armed. They do have a wolf amongst them. I don't think Fedoran is overly concerned if this does turn to violence. So he will still, though, talk from the rear as Adair
Hey.
positions himself in harm's way, just in case things turn sour.
You the one causing trouble in Cotter's neighborhood?
The wolf at this man's side raises her hackles and growls. He shushes and pats her behind the ears, all the while keeping his focus trained on you.
Your smoke and mirror ghosts do not impress Kaletzia, and they do not scare Cotter.
A line of drool drips down between the wolf's bared teeth.
Sorry, Valian names all sound the same to me. Which one is the pretty wolf?
You'll know soon enough.
Cotter bares his teeth. 2. Smoke and... Fedoran may well be getting rather accustomed to pulling spirits from the in-between to scare people. He's done it twice already. Shall we do it a third time? Third time's a charm, they do say. Yes, Fedoran, ever the peacekeeper, just from the outset, just announcing that we are simply not here to cause trouble. We've just got a couple of things that we might need clarifying and sorting out.
No? Smart amico. What do you want?
So the shipwright did mention something about these guys shaking him down, but also they were the ones that did rob also Captain Redora. Now, if we get how I see it, there could well be 2 ways to do this quest. We could get the money back from Captain Redora and give it to Zamar. Alternatively, we could get these guys to stop shaking him down, in which case he might not need Redora's money. You know what? Let's get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is them shaking down the shipwright. So we're gonna bring that up.
Zamar has money problems. Cotter has solutions. The little man doesn't know how to count his coins. Cotter heard a newcomer was talking with Zamar. Tell the shipwright to accept Cotter's deal before he suffers another setback.
Some of the options in this game so far are absolutely so ripe for a Go-Dan style playthrough. I'll sew your wolf into a pair of boots. Asking why he's shaking down Zamar.
Zamar can keep Principe ships afloat. Cotter tires of seeing his family sailing derelict wrecks.
So they are getting something from him. We could try asking for Captain Redora's money. But we could also say what's in it for us if we broker an agreement between you and Zamar. It doesn't seem like the best thing to do, because you still have to deal with them. But if we give him... I can't remember what the situation was with the money. If he gets the money, does he automatically get to pay these guys off and end things? Or... I should probably have read the journal before coming back here and doing this quest. Okay, let's first of all see what would be in it for us if we broker an agreement.
Cotter will see that his casita knows your name. There's also coin to spare. And Cotter will get you the Principe discount on Zamar's goods. Deal?
Okay, so we get a discount from these guys. Yeah, it doesn't sound like Zamar's going to be his own boss. It sounds like he's going to be working for these guys, which I don't think he wants to do. So, do you know what? No, change my mind.
Letting go of a good deal.
Maybe so, but the poor man, no. In fact, I think if you give me Captain Redora's money, I'm sure Zamar will be able to carry on with his business as he wishes.
The coin is gone, amico.
Gone?
Ale for Cotta's friends and food for Cotta's wolf. My casita gets the rest.
Okay, so there's no option to back out of this conversation. We either attack and see if they've got the coin and they're lying to us, or
Zamar can keep Princip. Cotta tires of seeing his family sailing derelict wrecks.
okay, so how do we get out of this conversation? There's no way to get...
Zamar can keep. Cotta tires of the coin. Ale for Cotta's friends and food for Cotta. Not Silesia.
See, Adair won't like that because we're threatening an animal, but there's no other way out of this conversation other than to either say this...
There's better ways to scare him than threaten innocent.
Shut up.
Cossi, and whose side are you on? Your casita or the wolf? No one threatens Cotta, you overstuffed boil.
I've got a feeling this conversation hasn't gone very well somehow. Oh, I don't like any of these. I think we must have screwed it up. We must have screwed it up. There was no option to back out of the conversation. Okay, so now we've threatened him.
This one's not worth it.
Okay, so we have returned to Zamar to tell him that we have convinced Cotta to leave him alone and hope that that will be sufficient enough for him to still offer us a discount without the need of Captain Redora's coin?
Best news I've heard since I arrived on this rock.
Zamar lowers his hands. They shake like they don't know where to go next. They go back up to his beard, this time less frenzied.
What of Captain Redora? Has she sobered up yet? Or do we need to shake her by her ankles?
No, she was robbed. By the very same thugs, no less, who have now spent the coin. Don't hold it against her.
Robbed? Abidon's fist. Someone's feeling bold to prey on a captain in Queen's birth. Matters being what they are, Redora's commission is yours, if you can afford it.
Zamar smooths down his moustache and dislodges a small puff of sawdust. What? Buying her commission?
That'll be the Iron Thunderer. A cannon well deserved of her name. Maybe she doesn't stand up to Rawatai standards, but she's got heart. For 1,000 pyres, she'll crack a hull, scour a sail, or splinter a deck like an imp with something to prove.
Okay, 1,000. Is that a good price, a bad price? Is this my reward for helping you? You sure you can't, I don't know, maybe offer something a little bit extra on the side? I did go to some effort to try and convince those thugs not to bother you, you know. Fedora's not usually one to push rewards. He usually gets what he's given and takes it, but, yeah. On this occasion...
1,000 is plenty less than I offered the seasoned captain. My hands are tied. Sorry.
We've got to take it now or never. I don't know how much an Iron Thunder, how much an Iron Thunder is normally. That's the problem. Is this a good deal? I'm not sure. It could be. I imagine it probably is, to be fair. But do we get the discount as well? And we do need cannons. Oh, fine.
You will? I mean, you will.
That sounds like he was probably overcharging us. He snatches your hand and shakes it with 2 quick pumps. Although I feel like we've been ripped off here.
Your vessel will spit fire like a worm with a belly full of fire kelp.
Okay, 4 Iron Thunderers. Not 1, 4. That actually might be a good deal then. Holy hell. Do we get a discount though?
Business comes and goes like the... Well, come take a look.
Oh, we do. 10%. It's better than nothing, right? I don't know what the different percentages would have been depending on how you completed this quest. If we'd have helped the thugs and got the Principe discount, would that have been more than 10? Possibly. But I'm actually not too dissatisfied with the outcome here. We had to threaten those thugs to get the job done, which obviously Adair wasn't happy with. We threatened to turn his wolf into boots. I think that was probably not Fedoran's doing, but was probably Nadog losing his impatience, blurted it out, because the conversation was going nowhere fast. Fedoran was bumbling his words, fumbling his words. Nadog stepped in, threatened to turn the man's wolf into boots. Adair took offence, and the conversation progressed from there. Eventually they agreed to back down. But let's have a look at how much Iron Thunderers are normally. Does he sell Iron Thunderers? Yeah, look at that. 1,000 for 1. We paid 1,000 for 4, so I think we've got a very good deal there. And a discount. Fedoran's a happy bunny. Indeed he is. So yeah, we still don't know what we're going to buy from this guy from this guy in terms of upgrading our ship. But when we do plan to leave, we'll take a look. We're still 1,000 short of the eyeglass, spyglassy thing, because we tend to be spending money that we're earning. First on the bathhouse, now on some Iron Thunderers. What can you do? Such is the nature of being a man that likes to spend coin. Right, I think it's not been a long session, but it's been a session where we have reached a natural impasse, I think, in terms of where we go next. The only option is one of two. It is to go and find these gloves, which would require us going to the Brass Citadel docks, a new district. Alternatively, we can now finally go and look for the Kahanga Palace also. Such decisions are not to be made whilst walking the streets, no siree. Such decisions are to be made when you are nicely tucked up in a comfy room in the local establishment. So it's back to the Wild Mare, where we shall all be drinking not those bloody lethal Wales Wind cocktails tonight, but something with a little less punch. We'll gather our thoughts and we shall make our decision then. So in the next session, we'll head out and do one of the two. But until then, Fedoran is going to put his feet up, because it's been a strange kind of day. Until next time, see you soon.